Okay everyone, I can't begin to tell you how excited I am at this particular moment in time. I've just seen something down here which is, oh my gosh, I'm almost shaking, you know. Hi everyone, it's an absolutely beautiful morning down on the River Thames. It's Easter Day actually, it's Sunday, Easter Sunday, and the sun is out, it's so warm. I've got here really early, so there's not much foreshore exposed yet. I can't wait to see what I'm going to find today. Come with me and let's find out what the tide has left out for us. Look what we've got here, a little button. Let's see if there's a maker on there. I don't think there is. I think that's a standard workman's button, 19th century. Okay everyone, I can't begin to tell you how excited I am at this particular moment in time. I've just seen something down here which is, oh my gosh, I'm almost shaking, you know, it's just, I feel so excited. This is possibly going to be a beautiful find. Now, can you see down there, there is some kind of vessel. Now I think it could be metal, it could be pewter, but I can see a name on it. I can see a J and an R and an O, and it's just here. Look, I'm feeling, oh my gosh, I'm feeling so excited about this. It's a miracle really that I spotted it, and I've come down to the river particularly early, so the tide is still really far up. So I'm searching right at the top of the beach, and so consequently I don't usually look here. Oh my goodness me, this is potentially going to be the best find I've had so far this year. There we are, look, J.R. something. Now just take a look at that. Just take a look at that. Now I'm going to be really careful getting this out because I don't want to scratch it. I don't want to damage it in any way. I kind of just want to savour this moment really and just keep staring at it. Okay, bear with me. Let's all just stare at it for a minute and listen to the water behind me. Right, I'm going to start extracting it. Now I'm thinking it could be like a pewter mug. People used to have personalised mugs back in the day that used to hang up in the bar. And then whenever they went to the bar or the pub or the tavern, they used to have their personalised mug. So maybe it's one of those. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Right. Now it's probably going to be quite squashed. Oh my gosh, look. Look, it's taking shape. I think I'm going to turn the camera off a minute so that I can get this out as safely as possible. I'll be back shortly. Right, I've got it out. I've got it out safely. Look at that mark. Look at that imprint of history where it's been for so long. And here we are. Here's the mug, or the tankard. Here is the tankard. I think it's pewter, and I don't know exactly what's on it yet, but there's definitely going to be a name or an initial and a surname. So, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Right, let's go and give it a little rinse off. I'm so excited that you can share this absolutely beautiful moment with me. It's Easter Sunday, and so happy Easter! Although you'll be watching this after Easter. This is so special. Thank you. Oh my god! This is amazing! This is beautiful. It's really got something on there. Oh. What does it say? J something, Rose and something. Oh, I think we might actually even get the name of the tavern. Wow. Well, you just never know what the Thames is going to throw out, and this is spectacular. This is spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. So it's got J. It looks like it could be Bannon or Baron. Rose and Crown. Something, something. I'm going to clean it off properly at home. I don't want to damage it or scratch it in any way. Oh, gosh. What does it say there? Well, that is spectacular, absolutely spectacular, and I'm speechless. Thank you, River Thames, thank you, thank you, thank you. I wonder who last touched it. I wonder if it was J. Bannon or Bano or something anyway. I wonder if it was him. Okay. It's the only day that I've come down here without my rucksack, so I'm going to put it in my pouch, go back, put it safely in the car and return to the foreshore. I'll be back in a minute. Well, after that excitement, if I don't find anything else today, that will be absolutely fine. I've just seen this nice piece of blue glass here. And that reminds me that I haven't really made any Thames glass fish for quite a long time. So I think I need to make some. What do you reckon? Look at this beautiful hooked nail here. I love that. I've just pulled this little hook out of the mud. Looks almost like a coat hook or something. I rather like it. Now, my trowel is there. Don't let me forget it. I'm just going to rinse this off a minute. Yes, you know what? I like that. It's got 3 holes, and I'm sure I could put that on my studio wall and hang things on it. Not the pewter mug, but I could hang something on it. Right, back to get my trowel. I took it off the little bungee because it was making a noise, but you know what, this is dangerous because I am notorious for losing trowels unless they are literally attached to me. Let's see if I can get home with all my finds and my trowel. A button here. There's lots of buttons on the foreshore, isn't there? Now, that one might have a maker on it. Yeah, I think it might, you know. I've just seen something else really cool down here, and I've got to be fast because the clippers have just gone by and I don't want them to wash it away. But look at this down here. Now it looks like part of a piece of cutlery, maybe the top of a spoon, but what I can see, which is really exciting, is that there's initials on the top. Oh, look at that! Oh, that is so special. Woo! Wow. That is the personalised top of a spoon or a fork. It's got the initials there of somebody. I've actually got a tiny one at home that I found years ago before I started making mudlarking videos, but that looks like IMM. It could even be the initials of the person and their wife. I'm not sure. I'll have to find out. I'll have to ask the experts. Simon will know, I expect. But oh, that's really lovely. It's broken, but that is a stunning find. A stunning find. Oh my goodness me. You know, my favourite kinds of finds are those with names or initials on, so I couldn't wish for a better Easter Sunday mudlarking outing. Oh, marvellous. Now what's this I see over here, just sitting there waiting for me? It's not a mudlarking outing, is it? Without a good clay pipe. This one's a really nice one. This one looks like it could be late 17th, early 18th century. Now look at this pottery down here. I was talking to somebody yesterday about this kind of design. Now it's called something like worm something. I can't quite remember exactly what it is. But it's such a large chunk that I think I'm going to take that because it's such a great example. And I can find out a little bit more about the method used to get that very specific design there. Very interesting. I've bumped into Rob on this beautiful Easter Sunday.
Hello.
Hi, Rob.
Hello, Nicola.
So you've been detecting today. Have you had any luck?
Not really, no. I found 2p and a musket ball.
2p and a musket ball?
Yeah. Which is the thing, but I've got one thing for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Find
exciting.
it.
Oh my gosh, look at that! A padlock!
Yeah.
Woo! A crusty
Oh, you're welcome
padlock.
to it. And I've also got one more thing, which
That. Thank you. There might be a name on this as well.
Yeah, there could be.
I'll soak that, clean it up.
Yeah, well, and they don't do anything for me, but I know
that is a very special Easter present.
Not as good as this one. This one's for you as well. Here, let me take that off.
Okay.
There, that's a real nice one.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah.
Look at that! Oh, that's
names on it and
beauty.
maker's marks as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure you like all that stuff.
I do. It's got a beautiful patterned stem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look at those initials on there.
Yeah.
They are so
and a maker's mark
pronounced. Yeah, so that looks like a G on that side. So that would be like maybe George, and then B, George Benson or something like that.
You'll do a lot more than for me. And I found a button.
A button! Hooray! Is there anything on it?
I wouldn't have thought so.
No.
But you're more than welcome to keep it if you want. Because
I think you should keep
other buttons don't do a lot for me.
Don't they?
I found a lot metal detecting and...
Well, it's my lucky day today, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And I'll show you my... I don't know what I've done.
Button, pipe, padlocks.
Yeah,
Goodness
2p.
2p.
2 pence, which was on the surface, and the one that I do like.
There's your musket ball.
Yeah, musket ball.
Fantastic.
And I've got... Your eyes might be better than mine. I've found that, but I don't know if it's got anything on it.
Oh, let's see. Right, I'll give you back your musket ball.
Yeah, cheers. I'll keep that. Do you want to put that in your fund?
Yes, there is something on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Now what?
Is it some kind of seal?
It's something. Anyway, it's definitely
Look,
something, Rob.
Take it with you.
No way.
No, take it with you.
Serious?
Yeah, because you'll do it. That will just go in a pot at my house. I'm not too far into it, and put that in your fund. And I'm happy with military. Just a musket ball would do me.
Wow, that's exciting. Yeah. This is definitely something I can see some lettering on there, and maybe even a face. I don't know. I'll let you know what it is when I find out. Though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you'll have more fun doing that than me. As I said, I do this because it helps my mental health and stuff. And I thought they were little coins, but they're just nails off of.
Do you know what? They fool me all the time.
And they give off such a great signal, and then you find it, and then you spend a lot of time rubbing the mud off, and it's a foul. But I've had a lovely day. It's been great meeting you as well.
You too. Well, I'm going to head up and have a coffee in a minute, so do join me if you
I will do, yeah. I just want to find a cliff brick for my friend Clifford, and then we'll go that way.
You are the first person who saw my amazing
find. Yeah, what find? Are you sure? What find? I don't know what you're talking about.
Brilliant. Okay, well, good luck with the brick.
Yeah, cheers, thank you. Yeah, bye.
Hi everyone, thank you very much for watching my video. I hope that you enjoyed that Easter Day excursion on the River Thames as much as I did. And I'm now going to regale you with some of the details that I found out about that wonderful pewter mug. But first of all, I just want to say a proper hello. How are you all? I hope that everything's well in your world, that you're happy and that you're healthy and that your week, weekend, your day, whenever it is that you're watching this video, is going well. So, down to business. I have this splendid mug here. It is a pewter tavern mug, and it's a spectacular find. It's in a little bit of a battered condition, but you know, it's in remarkably good shape considering it's been in the mud maybe since about 1850 or so, possibly earlier. So just look at it. That mud has preserved it so well. And as many of you know, some of my favourite finds are those that have a name and an address on it, because it just means we can find out so much more about it. We can find out about the people associated with it, the places associated with it, and it just brings history alive. So I'm really excited to share with you some details surrounding this mug today. But first of all, let me just show it to you properly. It's interesting, the bit that was exposed to the air is quite dull, but the other side that was in the mud and protected by that anaerobic oxygen-free mud is really shiny. I was so fortunate to find this. It was one of those very lucky moments when I was kneeling down in just the right place, and it was the lettering that caught my eye. And, you know, it's just one of those things that, would I have seen that if I was walking along and looking down? Probably not. And so, yeah, I'm just so grateful that I found it. So it has plenty of information on it. It has the name of a man called James Burrows. It has the name of a tavern, the Rose and Crown, and it has the address of the tavern as well, which is Lower Thames Street, London. When I first saw it and got it home, I thought that it said Rose and Crown, London, Thames Street, not Lower Thames Street. And so it took me down the completely wrong road, actually, because weirdly, there was a Rose and Crown in the 19th century in Greenwich, in Thames Street. So I thought that it could have belonged to a local there, and that this local, whenever he went into the Rose and Crown, maybe used this mug and sort of had it hanging up behind the bar. I'd like to say thank you to my good mud buddy, Si Fines, for telling me that actually often these mugs belong to the landlords of taverns. And so when I got home, I looked a little closer at the etching, and I realised that it didn't say London Thames Street, it said Lower Thames Street. And so that changed everything, because there was a Rose and Crown in the 19th century in Lower Thames Street in the city of London. And indeed, bingo, when I looked, James Burrows was the landlord of the Rose and Crown Tavern in Lower Thames Street from about 1832 to the late 1850s. So this was the landlord's pewter mug. How it ended up in the Thames is anybody's guess, but the pub itself wasn't too far from the river, so maybe it was stolen. Who knows? That's another thing for the imagination. Now, on this mug, we also have some more information. There are 2 verification marks. They were marks to signify that the measure has been inspected by an official weights and measures inspector and is found to be of the correct capacity. There's also, just here, a really lovely engraving of a bee. So all in all, it's pretty spectacular. And I thought it would be fun to take it back to where the Rose and Crown used to be. It seems to have been demolished, or certainly was no longer there by the late 19th century. So I put this mug in my bag and set off to Lower Thames Street to see what I could find out about James Burrows and the Rose and Crown Tavern. So here I am at Lower Thames Street, not far from number 56, where the Rose and Crown Tavern once stood. Now the Rose and Crown has been long gone, and so has James Burrows, but there are still stories associated with James and the tavern. So I'm going to tell you one of those stories, but we're going to go and find somewhere a little bit quieter, down by the River Thames. Sometimes I wonder if something is found because a story needs to be told. And the story in this case starts down here on the foreshore in front of Customs House, where exactly 183 years ago today, on the 26th of April 1840, an inquest was being held into the death of a William Henry Sweet, whose body was found here on the foreshore. Now, the night before William Henry Sweet died, he wrote a letter to his brother Frederick, and I'm going to read it to you now. My dearest brother and sister, you have always been kind friends to me, and I owe you much. God Almighty bless you and pay you. He pays all debts. A few years ago, I wrote a letter to Miss Owen. That letter has been my ruin and has driven me mad. Both Owen and his wife have been like parents to me. I have always been a fool. If I had lived, I should have gone raving mad, and you would not like to have seen me so. When you receive this, I shall be a dead man. I intend to drown myself at high tide, for I am sick of the world and shall die in peace with all the world but one man, Baker. So adieu forever, your affectionate brother, William Henry Sweet. Now, after this letter was read out, James Burrows was one of the witnesses who was called to talk about William's state of mind, because William was a regular at the Rose and Crown Tavern. James said that William had appeared pretty agitated and upset, and he felt dejected and ashamed. Now, when he said ashamed, he was feeling very, very sad and depressed, because his letter to Miss Owen, in which he had hoped she might marry him, was turned down. He was also very angry with Baker, who you heard mentioned here, because it was Baker who more or less persuaded him to write the letter. So after James's testimony, the jury decided that William had killed himself in a fit of temporary insanity. It's such a sad story, but one which I'm glad has now been told, because I'd like to take the opportunity now, all these years later, to just lift William Sweet up, to say his name again, to say we got you, William, and to say rest in peace, my friend. Now also, the story is so very relevant today. So many people feel depressed and anxious, but there's so much help around today, and I would urge you, if you feel like that, to reach out to friends or reach out to an organisation for help. I receive so many emails and letters from people saying how mudlarking and searching for history and searching for treasures really helps with their state of mind. It certainly has helped me with my anxiety, and you'll have even heard earlier that Rob mentioned that he does it for his mental health. So, now that the story has been told, let's raise a glass to James and William. So 183 years ago to this day, after that article was written, here I am with James Burrows' mug. And I also have some ale here with me, which I'm going to open. It's from Camden, by the way. I'm going to open and just think, this is the first time in many, many, many decades, well over a century, that this tavern mug will have contained ale. So here on the Thames foreshore in front of Custom House, let's raise a glass to James Burrows, William Henry Sweet, and indeed to all of you. Cheers. So here we are, back in the studio. What a great little trip this mug has had, and it's had some ale in it again after such a long time. And what a rich story that we're able to extract from this artefact. It makes it so much more than just a historical artefact, but something which tells the tale of James and poor William Henry Sweet. So this will go down as one of my favourite finds, and I will be taking this along with me to the Museum of London to show the Finds Liaison Officer in case he wants to record it. Well, what else have I got here? Nothing is really going to quite live up to the mug, but I'm going to show you this piece of cutlery here. Unfortunately, the bottom has come off. It's probably a spoon, and I believe it is referred to as a Triffid spoon. Thank you very much to my friend Anna Borzello of Foreshore Seashore on Instagram, who sent me a link. So it could date to the late 17th century. And it has the three initials here, IMM. And I think apparently people used to just basically use one spoon for all their meals. And so it was their spoon. So they kept it very safe with their initials on, so everybody knew who it belonged to. Maybe they carried it around with them. And so this was probably used an awful lot, maybe by a docker, somebody on a ship. Who knows? But it's really lovely, isn't it? And actually I've got another one, another top of a piece of cutlery, the same kind of thing that I found several years ago. So a triffid or a treffid piece of cutlery. If you know anything more about these types of pieces of cutlery, then please do let me know. I'm always thrilled to get any additional information from you. Now, it seems that quite a few of the things here that I have today have names on, and that is always good because we can just find out a lot more about the object. And indeed, of the two buttons that I picked up, one of them has the name of a tailor, this one, and it is Berkeley of London. So I found a little advert in the newspaper referring to Berkeley of London. Now for this large chunk of pottery, part of a bowl. Now, I knew that this design had something to do with worms, and indeed, having checked the design in my go-to pottery book, which is by Richard Hemery, it turns out that it is earthworm design, and this particular design here, this particular type of bowl, falls under the category of industrial slipware, and it was used from around about 1780 to the 1820s, 1830s. So it's quite a complicated design to make, apparently, but rather pretty. And funnily enough, I noticed when I was cleaning it up and I looked on the bottom, it looks as if somebody has actually scratched their initials into the bottom of the bowl. So everybody's being very possessive about their cutlery and tableware. Yeah, interesting. I wonder how many bowls of porridge were eaten out of this. Now, talking of pottery identification, my go-to pottery guru is Richard Hemery, and he is at Thames_pottery on Instagram. I've got one of his books here, the one where I found the earthworm design, and it's very, very good, and you can still get it, I believe, on eBay. It's identifying the pottery of the Thames foreshore. But what I do want to tell you is that he has just written another book, and it's called Sherd, and this book is likely to be excellent for identifying pottery, not only found on the Thames. And so if you want to grab yourself a copy, I know he has a few to sell. He will have more later on as well, but he has a limited amount available at the moment. If you go onto his Instagram account at Thames_pottery, you can contact him and buy a copy of his new book. That's definitely what I'm going to be doing. It's so, so useful. There's so much pottery that we find in the river, and it can be quite a task trying to ID it. And with somebody like Richard there, it makes it so much easier. What else have I got here? A few bits and pieces. Thank you very much to Rob for this lovely pipe, which he gave to me here. And this again also has initials on, GB. And I did mention George Benson, I think, just jokingly. But when I looked up on the database of clay pipe makers with the initials of GB, there is actually a George Benson. You'll have noticed too that Rob gave me a little lead object here. I think it could be a lead seal. At first I thought maybe it was some kind of coin. I believe it's a seal. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm going to put a photograph up on the screen, and if you think you might recognise it, please let us know. It would be good to know exactly what it is. So I think that's it really in terms of finds. I wanted to remind you that if you haven't yet entered the giveaway to win a crow necklace like this one, it's not too late. You can go back to my previous video, which was out a couple of weeks ago, and find out how to win it there. Now, on that note, I really want to let you know something about some awful, horrible people that are all over YouTube trying to scam people and telling them that they have won a prize and to contact me, but not really me, of course, on Telegram. Unfortunately, these are basically low-life scammers who are trying to get you to reply to them, and then they'll ask you for money for shipping. please be aware that I will never reply to a comment to tell you you've won a prize. I'll always just announce it on the video. So if you see something like that, just report them or just ignore them. But anyway, in my next video, I will do the results and find out who has won a necklace like this crow necklace here. So on that note, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. If you have any additional information about anything that I've spoken about today, any of these finds, please put it in the comments below. I'm always really happy to hear from you. Thank you for all your comments on my previous videos and for all your emails and messages. I really appreciate them. Thank you so much to everybody who has donated to me via my Ko-fi account or via the super thanks. I really appreciate your donations. Thank you very much indeed. So I'm very much looking forward to being back again very soon with more exciting adventures. I've just been away to a secret location with Sci Finds to visit another YouTuber called Mudbagger, and we had a fantastic time with him. Can't wait to share the finds with you, the videos which we made. I think you're going to enjoy them very much. So in the meantime, everybody, take care, sending you lots of love from London, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.